So about 2 days ago, I got an email. If you're in the UK, you'll know what I'm talking about here. I got a renewal email for me pilot and flyer ID from the CAA. Now, basically what that means is in the UK, you get like a code, any drone over a certain weight limit and stuff like that, you have to put it on your drone. So if you fly it and you crash somewhere you're not supposed to, there's basically traceability back to you. It's also a way to get people to sort of read the rules, because you have to do like a little test and stuff like that. Now, I've played by the rules as long as I've been flying, really, for the last 5 years, something like that. And this is the first time I've ever received this email and gave serious consideration to not actually renewing it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. Now, occasionally in this video, you might see me glance down, and the reason is I've got a little notepad on me here, and I've sort of written a lot of this stuff down because I think it's quite important to get the details right, and it's a good way to sort of organise my thoughts, really. So here we go. Now, one of the reasons I was really considering it, really, was because of the general state of the hobby. I wasn't going to, like, sort of not renew it and just keep flying. You know, I was actually giving some serious consideration to jacking it all in. Now, I'm not going to go through all the regs. Like I say, I'm no expert, but here are a few of the highlights. Registration threshold change. Now, flyer and operator IDs apply to drones over 100 grams, whereas previously it was 250 grams. So basically that shiny new Mavic Mini that you've just bought that was 249 grams, doesn't matter about that now. You now have to do the online test and display your ID on it. Anything like this little 3.5-inch quad, or the little Pavo 20, which I've just made a video on, funnily enough, bit of self-promotion there. So yeah, basically any drone that's over 100 grams is going to need your little pilot's or flyer ID thing sticking on it. So anytime you want to fly at night, you're going to have a green flashing light on your quad. So there's a chance of that completely ruining your footage. Going to be a new class marking system. I'm not going to get into that because it's completely confusing anyway. But the big one for me, which is coming up, is going to be remote ID. Now, this is going to be mandatory for all class mark drones from January the 1st, 2026. So now, basically. For those of you that aren't sure what remote ID is, it's basically a little tag on your drone that broadcasts its location to anyone that has an app that can pick it up. And not only does it broadcast the drone's location, it also broadcasts the pilot's location. So any dickhead that can download an app can find you. And, you know, I'm not saying everyone's a criminal, but if somebody wanted to nick a drone and the pilot and get the controller off the pilot, easy way to do it. So now, from what I understand, and I may be wrong about this, but homemade FPV quads will have until 2028. So at the minute, should be all right. But then again, remote ID is going to have to be added to them. Now that means you're going to have to buy a unique module for each one of your drones. So if you're a bando basher, every time you crash, you're going to break it. So you're going to spend £100 a week replacing fucking remote ID modules, which is going to be ridiculous in itself. So according to the CAA, these new rules are to increase traceability, enhance public confidence, and enabling more complex operations. So basically this means getting people like us out of the air so that Amazon can fly fucking delivery drones all over the place, and you know, you can get your cheap Chinese tube socks delivered to your house, while people like me can't even go out and fucking fly. I mean, this will probably also apply to people who fly FPV and drones for business. You know, you probably won't be able to get insured now if you don't have remote ID on your drone. Now, I'm speaking mainly of the FPV side of things. I believe all, like, camera drones and ones that you buy from DJI and stuff like that are going to have all this built in. But again, the same principles apply. People will be able to sort of track you and find out where you are. So yeah, this is really going to affect people like myself and people like you know, guys that just want to go out and have some fun. Now, I'm not saying everyone that flies a quad is a saint. There are people out there that do shit you're not supposed to. You know, you see it every other week in the paper, drones dropping drugs off at prisons and flying in airports and shit like that, but we won't get into stuff like that. You know, I don't think having to put a remote ID tag on your quad is going to stop people doing stuff like that. You know, if they're flying drugs into a prison, they're going to be bothered about a little fucking remote ID tag. They aren't going to put it on. So you're only affecting the people, honest people, basically, people like us. So yeah, basically Amazon and shit like that's coming for your airspace. The media's just as bad in this, really. You don't, you only ever see the negative side of flying drones. Tanks getting bombed in Ukraine and shit like that, and drugs getting flown into prisons and airports. You never see the good side of it. People like us who just go out and generally want to fly and have a bit of fun. So yeah, a little bit of a rant there. So yeah, eventually after the depression worn off, I have decided to renew it, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I love flying. Nothing beats the feeling of going out, sticking the goggles on and just flying your quad. Don't matter whether you're flying in a park, an empty field, along the cliffs, bando bashing. There's nothing quite like that thrill of flying. So if that means I'm going to have to put a remote ID module on my quad, then I guess so be it. We'll just have to see how it pans out. I know remote ID is a thing in America, but whether many people abide by it or not is another thing. So I think I'm just going to have to bite that bullet and sort of put my big boy pants on and get on with it, really. And the second reason, and the main reason for this, is people need to see how good and fun drones can be. Like I said previously in this video, all you ever see is the bad. Shit happening in Ukraine, people flying into airports, people flying drones into prisons. All the media shows you is the bad stuff. I think little channels like mine, and there's a lot bigger channels out there than mine doing other stuff, little channels like this, sort of, where what I want to do is show you the good. I want to show you that it's fun. It's, yeah, it may be technical at times, and you crash and break stuff, but that's all part of the thing of it, really. And I hope by abiding by the rules and me continuing to make FPV content that I can inspire new pilots, because it's getting harder and harder and harder and more expensive to get people into this hobby. But I do think it's worth it. I'd much rather see someone in a park flying a little quad about and having fun than just loads of kids stood on a street corner shouting at fucking pensioners. But anyway, so yeah, long story short, I'm going to keep flying. I know it's been a really long-winded video, literally just me sat speaking to a camera, but it's something I wanted to get off my chest, and I'm really, really glad that you lot have sat and watched it. And I'm also glad for the support over the last few years. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm going to keep flying. I will abide by the rules. If anyone asks, I'll abide by the rules. But for now, I'm going to keep charging batteries, keep bando bashing, keep flying, and just see where this hobby goes. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. I know it's been long-winded, but it's something I did really want to get off my chest. So the last thing to do is thank my patrons. And I do this in every video, so big thanks to Tegrity Frank. Your support means a lot, mate. It really does. It's going to allow me to buy fucking remote ID modules at some point in the future. Also, thanks to you lot that aren't in the same name tier. Your support means just as much. If you enjoy my videos and you want to support the channel, there's links down in the video description to my Patreon. There's also a few affiliate links and shit like that down there. But if you don't want to join it, that's no worries at all. Keep watching my videos and I hope you enjoy it. Right, so we're back soon with another video, hopefully a little bit more optimistic than this one. So yeah, I'm starting to waffle now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.